Dear students, we discussed that water is a very good solvent and it dissolves lots of solids, liquids and gases into it to form homogeneous solution. Now, a substance may dissolve in water, but there is a limit. How much of the solute will dissolve in a given amount of solvent at normal temperature and pressure? That is called solubility. The term for this property of a solute to dissolve in the solvent is said to be solubility. So, solubility of a solute in the solvent is not same. Different substances have different solubility in water. So, capacity of water to dissolve different substances is different, and we can explain this with the help of an example. Take example of sugar. Sugar dissolves in water to form homogeneous solution. So, sugar is a solute to the solvent water. But how much sugar can dissolve in water? 130 gram of sugar dissolves in 1 liter of water at normal temperature, that is 25 degrees Celsius we take in that case, and normal pressure means 1 atmospheric pressure. So when we say solubility of a substance, there are different units in which we can express, but a normal unit that we often use for solubility is either gram per liter or gram per 100 gram of water. 100 gram of water is same as 1 liter, because 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram, that is 1000 gram. So when a substance is dissolved to its optimum amount, that is solubility in a given solution, then solution is said to be saturated solution. It means if in this glass of water we have taken, suppose a bigger jar, and we have taken 1 liter, or maybe suppose it is 100 gram or 0.1 liter only of water, then if it is 0.1 liter of water, then 13 gram of sugar will dissolve into it. If it is 1 liter of water, then 130 gram of water can be dissolved into it. If we want to dissolve more than this, then the temperature of the water should be higher. It means solubility of a substance may be different at different temperature in water or in a given solvent. But if on a given temperature, maybe 25 degrees Celsius only, if a given amount of water has the maximum of the solute dissolved into it, so that now at that particular temperature, in that much amount of water, say 1 liter, it cannot dissolve even a little more of the solute, then the solution is said to be saturated solution. I give example. If this is, suppose we take it 1 liter only, it's a bigger container and is having suppose 1 liter of water. Then in this 1 liter of water, suppose we added a little bit of the sugar and stirred, then little bit more, then stirred, and the sugar is already weighed and it is 130 gram. So we observe that once suppose we dissolve 100 gram of the sugar into the 1 liter of water at normal temperature and pressure, then at that temperature it can dissolve 30 gram more. It means it has not dissolved maximum. If we add more sugar, it can still dissolve more. In that case, it is said to be unsaturated solution. Unsaturated means this solution is not having maximum solute dissolved into it. It can dissolve more of the solute into it. But if we keep adding and finally the entire 130 gram of the sugar is added to it and is stirred and is mixed and formed solution, after that if we added 10 gram more, then what we observe that despite all the stirring at that temperature, the extra sugar will settle down at the bottom. It means though it is soluble otherwise, but after it has dissolved maximum into that amount of water, then no more sugar can get dissolved. So if 130 gram of the sugar can dissolve. This is, I have written this for sugar. So if 130 gram of sugar is present in 1 liter of water at normal temperature and pressure, it means it is saturated solution. But if less than that is dissolved, whether less means maybe little less, like maybe 120 gram, or maybe just 20 gram, or maybe just 5 gram, all those solutions in which different proportion of sugar is mixed will be said to be unsaturated solution, because unsaturated solution is the one which can dissolve more of solute into it, whereas a saturated solution is the one which cannot dissolve any more sugar into it. So if more sugar is added, it means rather than 130 gram, we added 150 gram of the sugar into 1 liter of the water and keep stirring, then what will happen? That 130 will dissolve, but 20 gram will settle at the bottom. A solution which is having more of the solute than it can dissolve, so the extra solute will not be in the dissolved form but will stay undissolved form, then such solution is said to be supersaturated solution. And this example will make all the 3 terms clear. If 130 gram of the sugar is the maximum that can dissolve in 1 liter of water, so if 30 gram or 120 gram or even 129 gram of the sugar is dissolved, then it is unsaturated solution. But if exactly 130 gram is dissolved into it, so that it has dissolved maximum and no more can dissolve, then it is said to be saturated solution. But if we add more of the solute into it, like 150 gram or 170 gram or 180 gram or something, then some of the solute is soluble and other is not dissolving, because it is added more of the solute than its solubility. Then it is said to be supersaturated solution. A supersaturated solution can be made saturated or even unsaturated. Tell me how? By increasing solubility of the sugar. How can we increase solubility of the sugar? By heating. If we heat a supersaturated solution, suppose all this 150 gram of the sugar we have added at 25 degrees Celsius, so that 130 got dissolved and rest of 20 is undissolved. But if we heat it and increase its temperature, then even that 20 gram will dissolve. So the supersaturated solution, now if we heat a little bit, it can become to saturated one. But if heat a lot, then maybe now at high temperature, not only 150, but it can dissolve even more sugar into it. In that case, a supersaturated solution can be converted to unsaturated solution as well. So it is about solubility of us, means the term saturated, unsaturated and supersaturated are related to 2 things. Solubility of a solute in that solvent at that particular temperature. If maximum is dissolved, it is saturated. If less than maximum is dissolved, it is unsaturated. If more than maximum is dissolved, then it is said to be supersaturated. And by increasing the temperature, if we increase the solubility, then a saturated or supersaturated solution both can get converted to unsaturated solution. Children, as we discussed in previous video as well, that solubility of a solid solute increases at high temperature, but solubility of gaseous solute decrease at higher temperature. So in summers, due to less oxygen in water, aquatic animals or plants find it difficult to survive. This also says that how important is this property of being very good solvent of water. Children, because of presence of dissolved carbon dioxide, dissolved oxygen, dissolved nitrogen and dissolved mineral salts, the life can survive on earth. Think of aquatic life. Aquatic life survive by breathing in the water because of oxygen dissolved in water. Aquatic plants can do Aquatic plant mean those which stay under the water, submerged water plants. They do photosynthesis with the help of carbon dioxide dissolved in water. Nitrogen dissolved in water helps in protein synthesis of aquatic plants. And what about animals? Animals as well get, including human being, so many of the minerals and salts healthy for their growth with the help of their drinking water, because water has several mineral salts dissolved into it which are very good for our health, like calcium, like iron, like fluorine, like iodine. So all these dissolved minerals are good for the health of not only human being but also other animals and so plants. Yeah, one more thing, children. When a solute is, suppose a solute is dissolved in the water and we want to separate it from the water, then you know dissolution of a solute into the solvent is a physical change only, and therefore the solute can be separated from the solvent water by either by evaporation, but then it will not be so pure. If we want to get pure solute separated from a solvent, then we can also separate it by crystallization. So children, when crystallization of a solute from solvent is done, then sometimes what happens, that entire water is not evaporated. Some of the water stay with the solute molecules in chemically combined form. This chemically combined form of water is said to be water of crystallization. Let's discuss this thing a little more in detail. Take example of copper sulfate. Copper sulfate is soluble in water. So when copper sulfate is dissolved in water and then when we crystallize it out, then what happens? The entire water is not evaporated. Some water molecules get attached to it with the help of a loose chemical bond. This dot shows a loose chemical bond. Loose means water molecules are attached to it but not chemically in such a way that they become a different new substance. In this loose bond, copper sulfate has its own property and water molecules has its own property. But there is one advantage for copper sulfate, that now because of these water molecules, it becomes crystalline. If these water molecules are lost by heating, if CuSO4.5H2, that is crystalline copper sulfate, or we also say it as blue vitriol, if it is heated, then water of crystallization get separated. So the name water of crystallization is given only because these water molecules provide crystalline shape to a substance, like here copper sulfate. So copper sulfate with 5 molecules of water is said to be hydrated or crystalline copper sulfate. But if it is heated, then those water molecules, that is water of crystallization, get separated and now this copper sulfate is no more crystalline. Sometimes this water of crystallization doesn't provide only crystalline shape to the solute but also a color. Like in case of copper sulfate, it provides blue color to copper sulfate when it is attached to water of crystallization. When this water of crystallization is separated, then this copper sulfate is not blue, it is white, and also it is amorphous, means non-crystalline. There are certain substances which become crystalline when they combine with water of crystallization, but they do not get a different color. For example, washing soda. Washing soda is sodium carbonate chemically. When sodium carbonate combines with 10 molecules of water of crystallization, then it becomes crystalline. If it is heated or is exposed to hot air, then these water molecules, that is water of crystallization, combined with a loose chemical bond, get separated. And then it becomes non-crystalline. So this is one more form in which water molecules can get attached to a substance apart from dissolving it into it. as a solute. Okay.